The decision to come to a new area was pretty tough to come up with, and it's tough to kind of leave everything that you knew where to hunt, and the ridges you know, and the draws and where the water's at. And when you're camping on your back, you got to kind of just roll with it sometimes. And
Trent.
as you can see, probably another emotional hunt that I've had. That seems to actually be a tendency for me, is kind of break down after everything goes down. But I hope you guys are learning a lot from this series. The reason that we put this hunt in today is it took a lot to get us to this point, to where we could just pick a spot on a map. If you've seen this video, if you watched this hunt actually that was played from the start, you'll see that we get into a parking lot and there is 1,000 rigs, and it took a lot, and even in the way of confidence as well, for us to just go, well, we got to try it anyway, and start hiking in there and going on that hunt and making it happen, and shooting a few elk, or a couple elk. Steve and I think shot elk on that 5-day trip. Go through the gear that it takes. That's what we're covering on today, is the gear that it takes to go do something like that. And it may not be like the gear as far as all the gear that you need, but it may be the important gear that you need. And this hunt was no different. We were backpacking in a whole brand new area, brand new set of challenges, different terrain than we normally been in the state that we were in. So there's a whole bunch of differences, but yeah, I hope you guys like this series on gear. It's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be kind of informative to the people that are just looking to get outside the box and to take that leap and to try something new. So hope you guys enjoy this one. Different setting, different video.
Yeah,
we're back in the barn.
Video number 4 here of our everything elk, DIY, OTC, whatever that. We're just trying to get everything baseline covered for you guys out there planning for your first hunt, or maybe your first out-of-state hunt. So with that, we want to give back. Right now is going on the land of the freebies. Freebies, yes. So to celebrate 4th of July, if you spend $59 on our website, we're going to give you a free Land of the Free hat, 2 free koozies.
I'm supposed to sign something.
You're supposed to sign something. Yep.
Oh,
autographed photo, and also free decal. So that value package is
$1,000, $1 million,
worth that. So yeah, Land of the Freebies ends on July 15th at 11:59. So that's the cutoff. It's just our way of giving back to you guys for all your support. So make sure to jump on the website, grab some calls or whatever you need for season for the hunt, and we're going to be giving back. So
thank you for your support, guys.
Appreciate it.
We really thank you. So let's go through some stuff. We're going to talk. Today's video is on gear. Gear related, and we've been arguing, and it's not an argument actually, but we've been talking, and it's like, okay, what gear do you need? Like the necessities that you need to come out west and kill an elk of your dreams. And it's not a knife. I mean, everybody has a sharp knife. We want to base it down to what we need.
Yeah, basically the necessities. And so we've talked, you know, in the prior videos on hunt style and how you're going to do it. Specifically, we're going to talk about a backpack hunt. If you've never been out west and you're going on your first elk hunt and you're like, I'm going on a bivvy hunt, what do I need? First and foremost,
I would say boots. We go back and forth about all of this stuff, and I would say, so what we're talking about when we talk about needs is we talk about what's going to keep you out there longer, what's going to keep you more comfortable, and what's going to keep you elk hunting for the 7 to 10 days that you have allotted, that you've taken off work to go kill a bull or a cow or a spike elk.
Yep.
And I would say right off the bat, if your feet are killing you, if you have blisters, if whatever it may be, that is going to stop your hunt. So you need comfortable boots. These are dirty as heck. These are the, what are those? Crispy Nevadas. These are the Nevadas. But boots are a big deal, a huge deal. You've got to have good equipment that you go with, and it starts from the ground up.
Dry feet. So, and a lot of people ask what boots are good for me. Feet are the hardest thing to say this is a pair of boots that works well. Unfortunately, it's going to be one of those, if you don't have a local shop that you can get fitted for a pair of boots, order a pair of boots online, wear them around in the house. If they work, great. If not, you can send them back. So
we all wear different kinds. Cody's got the
these are Summits.
Summits, yeah.
It's a go-to pair. So
we all wear different kinds of boots.
Yep.
It's just figure out what fits you the best, and
I have long, lanky, weird feet with
very weird.
Yep.
Very weird.
That's
the number one in my book. Cody, number 2.
Man, so tough. Sleep system is going to be pretty critical. If you're doing an overnight, so your shelter and sleeping bag and sleeping pad can either make or break. And you know, because a long day's hunt, if you do not sleep good at night, you're not going to want to go.
You do not have a leopard skin pillow, do not come out west. Bottom line. Bottom line.
There is that. You're the one and only elk hunter in the west with a leopard skin pillow.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That was courtesy of Trevor last year at 2.0.
Yeah. So I have my bag that I just started to use this year. I'm a bigger guy, and I don't. Cody does the
I've got an
quilt system.
Yep, I've got a quilt.
I like a sleeping bag. I like something as big as I can get it. This thing is ginormous. I love it so far. Haven't had any issues with it. This is the Stone Glacier Weston.
15 degree.
15 degree. Yep. Chilkoot.
So it's Stone Glacier Chilkoot 15 degree down bag. And this is a little bit more of a square finish. If you guys go to goHUNT to the gear shop, you can buy it there. You actually get points back. So if you're a goHUNT member, if you, like right now they have that free trial, you can go to goHUNT.com/BRO and get on a 30-day trial. If you continue that membership, you get points back when you make the purchase. So,
and that too, as we go through this whole what do you want to call it, movie series, video series,
yeah.
Whatever, you're gonna follow us along through a lot of the things that we're gonna do. We're gonna cover some serious things coming up on some future videos. You saw the videos past with like Steve. He talked about unit, and he talked about how he researches units and does all that. It's all in there.
It's a great tool. So
great tool,
and it's cool to get basically points back. And those points are worth $1. You get money back. You buy gear. So
thing that goes with the sleeping bag is the pad. Cody, what'd you get me?
That one's an REI. I've got a Sea to Summit Comfort Plus. And those pads, the insulation factor is one to look at. Look for an R value at least 3 or better. And then thickness, all of them seem to pretty much be fairly durable nowadays. Like I said, Sea to Summit's been my favorite pad that I've ran so far.
So we broke it down into comfort zones, right? So we broke it down to what is going to keep you out in the woods longer. We talked about boots, we talked about sleeping arrangements, and then the other thing is your shelter. So when you're hunting at 10,000 feet or whatever you might be in Colorado, Wyoming, wherever you might be, your shelter is a big deal because rain comes up right now. I mean, it's sunny and sunny and sunny, and then it's thunder and lightning and raining for an hour and a half, and you never know when that's going to happen.
Yep. So having a good shelter, there's some great options out there. Trent runs a Big Agnes Copper Spur UL2. It's a 2-man tent, but he doesn't let anybody sleep in there.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
and
not.
No one wants to the way he snores, but that's got a dual vestibule. It's a great tent. For years, I ran a Marmot EOS 1. They replaced that, I think updated the name on it, but it's a 1-man side entry tent, and it's fairly inexpensive. I think like 179 bucks. It's a great option out there as well. That's a freestanding tent. And then I've been running a tarp, a Jimmy tarp, granite mountain, and it's basically you can sleep 2 guys in it. I've put 1 guy and a lot of room for gear. It goes with a trekking pole support and 9 stakes. So
this year I'm kind of, I don't know, at Hoodoo the other day, this is hard for me to say, okay, this is hard for me to say, but I'm gonna try the Jimmy tarp. He's got actually a tent design. It's floorless, so but at the same time I told him I would try it out, so that's what I'm gonna try. I don't have one here. I don't even have one in stock. He's supposed to get back with me on that, and we'll see about that. Jimmy, you need to get a hold of me.
So yeah, the tarp system works really well. I run a bivy sack inside with my sleeping bag because it is a floorless setup, and it works really well.
We covered some things like our must-haves, and we covered boots, we covered tents, we covered shelters. These are the things that are outside that realm just a little bit, I would say. And not you have to have guaranteed, but at the same time, they're definitely items that we use every single day. I would say my next item would be this, would be my phone. Onyx on my phone. It's an easy app to download, and it can tell me exactly where I'm going. Being safe out in the woods, honestly, I've been lost. I got lost in Colorado. I've been out in the woods for all my life, and I just got kind of turned around, and I had to find the right trailhead, and I ended up
packing meat.
Yeah, and I ended up running a long ways that day,
yeah,
just to kind of hook back up with you guys. But yeah, Onyx, just it's a huge tool that we use. I'd say it's a must-have.
100%. And or if you have a GPS you're really comfortable with, we've used GPS for a lot of years with the Onyx chip.
Yeah.
We have since gone just to our cell phones, and have had a great experience with navigation, safety, and all that.
What would be yours?
Man, honestly, for me,
yeah,
it's going to be a pack. Having a comfortable pack that you can carry a load in. You know, we run Exos. This last year, I ran Prototype 3000 that they're not doing, but better yet, this is the 4800. This is a prototype of ours that's going to be launching mid-July, and shipping in August. So this is a 4800. We added some custom things to it with some zippered pockets instead of a normal drop-in pocket, and really excited to finally have Born and Raised Edition pack. The biggest thing for us is carrying your camp, all your gear, and when you kill something, the ability to load out meat and haul meat in one trip. So this pack will do it. There's several others on the market, but we've found this has been the most comfortable pack that for us works great. Don't let this stop you from not going.
No.
That's kind of this whole video series. These are must-have as far as gear, but this, if you have a different brand pack or anything like that, go use it and put the time in and put the experience into then you can feel justified when you want to spend the money on the gear that you want. So I want to preface that don't let some of these items stop you from going. So
yes, don't let it hang you up because I don't have beef stroganoff Mountain House, although you should probably get it. You don't have it. Don't let that stop you. That was just another comfort item. Everybody's gonna have a bow this time of year. We just threw this up here because it's just some of the stuff that, yes, you have to have. Be dialed in your equipment. Be fluent in what you're doing, because that's at the end result. That's what you're going for. But my next big comfort item would be, to kill an elk, would be this. It would be a bugle, and it would be reeds, honestly. If we didn't have that, and if you've watched any of our videos in the past, and all the stuff that we've done, if we didn't have a bugle tube and a reed,
for our style of hunting, we would be dead in the water.
We'd be dead in the water. So yeah, of all the elk that we've actually been fortunate enough and blessed enough to harvest, we have called in 99.6% of them, I believe.
Yep.
So anyway, calls and bugle tubes are a must, I would say, for my next adventure.
For us, and this is really a must-have, not that you have to have this exact system, but a water filtration system. Sawyer squeeze filter, I've been using it. I think Spec showed me this back in like 2009, somewhere in that era, 2010. and
super inexpensive.
Yeah, you can
That's
find
my thing. That's my thing about it. Is you can find it at Walmart. You can find it anywhere. It's not like you got to go to the pro shop to get it.
I think they're like 30 or 40 bucks for a squeeze filter. The way we set them up, I run a Platypus 2 liter plus type bag, and then basically you collect your dirty water in here.
Water. That's just the water that you're going to collect from any stream or whatnot.
Yeah, unfiltered water.
Unfiltered water. You call it.
We just call it a dirty bag, and then I run it with a quick release. Works really simple. So then this water drains through the filter and goes into
right into his pack.
Yep. And so I run a 3 liter Platypus. Works really well. This also will work as a gravity filter. So at night, you've got a dirty water, just clip that up, hold that up, and all your water's clean in the morning. So, but safety of this, you know, there's definitely some other things out there. SteriPen, people use just the iodine tablets with the neutralizer. I always carry some iodine tablets. If this was to freeze up, I've never had this fail on me, but just as a backup. So dirty water is critical, just for safety and everything else. So that is one. If you're doing a backpack hunt, be prepared to filter water.
Boom. All right, so my next piece of equipment that you have to have. Why are we all out there? Why are we all doing this, breaking our backs and everything for our families? Yes, because we kind of enjoy it, but at the same time, it's for the meat, guys. It is for the meat, and this is what we need to hold the highest of precedence. So we really take just a hierarchy on our meat. And game bags, first thing. When you get that meat off the bone, the first thing that you need to start is the cooling process, and that is started by good game bags. You want to keep out the flies, you want to keep out the bacteria, and you still want those, the hams, the quarters, the raw meat, the boned out meat, you still want that to have air around it, you still want it to get that crust on it. So game bags are a must. You can't just, you may see on some videos, they just hack off a ham and hang it in a tree. We've never
and
ever
high
done
quality
that.
game bags too. There's some stuff that are like cheesecloth type. Those will fail. You'll get fly blow. You will lose meat. So a high quality,
good game bags. There may or may not be something coming from us shortly about that.
We're working on something, guys. It's for us. There's not a perfect solution out there, and we're working on that. So
yeah, taking it next level. But anyway, meat preparation is key. Make sure you have that in your pack when you head out that morning. Every single time, you have to have that. If your meat spoils at the end of the day, you're gonna feel terrible.
We've talked on some musts. We've gone through and done a complete clothing video, so we won't spend too much. We'll put the link in the description to that. But the one thing that we would stress on clothing for us, merino wool is a game changer if you're doing multi-day hunts. For a base layer. So right here, this is a go-to. I wear a merino Wick 150 hoodie.
First light.
First light.
First light.
Trent runs the short sleeve.
Yeah, the crew. I think crew.
Yeah,
I think the Wick. Yeah, the Wick crew.
150 weight merino, and then obsidian pants or those Corget guide pants. So basically that's on us all the time. Not a lot of mid-weight stuff, but if I do, it's a Klamath. They're grid fleece synthetic, so that's
just big. Yep. In case it gets too cold.
Yeah, too cold, and then a puffy. So, but we've covered all that. Like I said, link in the description of our full gear kit up on First Light and our clothing. The other thing that I would highly encourage, if you're making the trek out of state, long trip, don't just show up with a quiver of arrows and go, okay, I've got my 6 arrows for the season. I feel good about it. Granted, you should have the confidence in your equipment, but
this would be Cody's want.
Yeah,
this would be it.
I always take arrow case.
Holy moly!
Loaded up. So I usually at least take a dozen broadheads and arrows. So
that being said, during the day we're shooting all the time. I mean, you see a leaf out there, you put on your arrow. And it could blow up, obviously, but you go, okay, that leaf, and we're always shooting. It's not like we just get ready for season and we stop. We shoot every single day in the field.
I always carry a judo point in my quiver. Yep. On multi-day hunts, I never pack in other arrows, but I have a 7 arrow quiver. So I've always had a judo point. I always take a spare judo point as well, because if I break the judo point but the arrow is still good.
Grouse are good.
Yep, grouse are good and good practice to shoot at. So we've talked more on what arrows and setups we've got. We've actually got a broadhead video that's coming up that we're testing. How many different broadheads?
It's pretty much, it's like 50.
50 broadheads.
Okay, that seems excessive.
Yeah, so we're gonna shoot them all on our day 6 arrows, and I'm pretty excited to kind of share that with you. That's coming up next week after this video series wraps up. But I would definitely encourage you, if you're traveling out of state, have an arrow case. They're fairly inexpensive. This stays in your truck. So you go on a 4-day hunt and you have an opportunity and you hit a branch, you can restock your quiver and be rocking and rolling.
So we covered a bunch of things today. Some of the things we didn't cover that you're going right now, looking at the TV going, why didn't they say that? Well, it's because it wasn't in our must-have category. Another thing in not my must-have category that I've learned to love lately is trekking poles. These things, I mean, on a pack out, you won't ever see me like hunting them initially when I actually have my bow in my hand when I'm shooter, but when there's any pack out opportunity, these things are a lifesaver. So it's just another thing that's just down the line of stuff that you could possibly have. You could fill that pack full, and I'm sure a lot of people do. We didn't mention cordage. We didn't mention tenacious tape. We didn't mention, what's the tape when you get blisters? Luco tape. We didn't mention a ton of stuff. Lighters, always carry a lighter with you. I mean, all this stuff that in our face paint, stuff like that. We didn't mention a ton of stuff, but we just kind of went over the must-haves.
Knife sharpener.
The whole deal.
Yep, all that. We've put the link in the description below on our full gear dump. You know, we all run Jetboil stoves, optics. You know, another thing, rangefinder is
key for a lot of people.
Yep.
I mean, key, I would say, for everybody.
Yep.
Going out, and always check your ranges before you're in a setup or whatever. All these things that, you know, we could get into it, I mean, deeper than we could go real thick in the woods right now. But at the same time, we wanted to cover stuff that you guys don't let stuff be a hindrance for you to come out and go chase elk. You don't have to have all this stuff. We just wanted to cover the stuff that actually really, really makes a difference to us to keep us out longer in the woods, because we do it for a lot of time.
The main objective is that comfort and the endurance side.
Correct.
Of it.
But just get out there. That's the big thing.
Rangefinder's pretty critical.
Get out there. Get out there. Get out there and go do it, and go do something new. It was cool. This morning I got an email from a guy, and it was like a 20-page email, and he had his phone number at the bottom. And I'm like, I just called him up, and he was like, oh my goodness. And so we talked for about 15 minutes. I'm not saying don't email with your phone number, but at the same time, it was cool. And he's coming out with his wife for the first time. They just started gaining points. He says, we just got on this, we want to come out west. And he's like, but at the same time, he goes, I just realized if I'm going to gain points, what good does it do me to have all these points if I don't go learn how to do it?
Yep.
So he's coming out to Colorado this next year. Mark, good luck. And it just, one of those things where it's just like, you know, don't let anything hold you back. Go do it. Go do it. You can do anything that you've ever seen us do on film.
Yep, and 100%. And if you don't have the overnight tent, you don't have the packable sleeping bag, come out, day hunt from your truck, cover the ground. Do the things you need to do to go out, get experience, and then build from there. So this, for us, we've backpack hunted. I mean, my first trip, I was 12 years old with my dad, overnight backpack trip. And so it's been a long process to get to this point with my gear. And like I said, just go hunt elk. Don't let anything stop you.
Tell no lies, I ain't gonna apologize. You can see just where I stand, you know exactly who I